It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. We are starting a brand new week on the channel. It is a Monday, and like most Mondays, we're making it a metal Monday. We're getting off to an aggressive, high-energy start, and it's been quite a long time since I have listened to music by Slipknot, and this band's music is what we are into today, and I'm happy that you are with me. So I have previously acted to a few of their songs, Psychosocial, Duality, and I listened to an acoustic live performance of Snuff from Corey Taylor, and I have found this band to be really intense, but I think I understand them, and I'm curious to what they are doing. So today, we are going to be looking at The Devil in I, and I haven't heard it before, and I'm looking forward to it. So as we remember, this is a band known for their aggressive musical style and high energy live shows. They formed in Iowa back in the mid 90s, and they wore masks to shield their true identities for a very long time. So The Devil and I is the second single from Point Five, The Gray Chapter, the band's fifth album. It was released in 2014. And the gray in the album title makes reference to founding bassist Paul Gray, who sadly died of an overdose in 2010. And this would be their first album in 6 years, and their first with new bassist Alessandro Venturella and drummer Jay Weinberg. So they took several years off with the death of Paul to figure out what they were going to do next and what the band was going to be up to. And by the time they got finished with it, the album has been a successful one for them. They earned 3 Grammy nominations for their work on this album. So we've got Corey Taylor on vocals, Mick Thompson and Jim Root are on guitars, Sean Crahan and Chris Fain are on percussion, Craig Jones is on samples, Sid Wilson is on the turntable, and like I said, Alex Venturella and Jay Weinberg are joining the band. Alex is on bass, and Jay is on the drums. I'm going to be looking at the original recording here and the video that accompanies it, and I've been warned that there are some graphic scenes in this video, so I don't know what I'm going to see, but I have read through the lyrics, and I'm looking for some help, especially from the video, with tying together some of the themes in this to see what they're actually talking about and working towards. So let's see what they are up to, friends. Here is The Devil and I from Slipknot. Off we go. Interesting guitar sound at the beginning, and there they go. Really cool triplet in those drums. It's 5 to flat 5. It's a riff that I've heard often in heavy metal music. Yeah, and it's a half step above A, which is where they are. So Phrygian and the flat 5 in there. It's got all the makings of some metal music.
Undo these chains, my friend. I'll show you the rage I've hidden.
Oh no! See that? Hear the half step going down. Subtonic. Yeah, no. It's too low for me to keep trying to sing that. Make amends. Some of us are destined to be outlived. inside, see the devil and I, too many times we've let it come to this. Danger. It's a heavy riff, from 5 to flat 5 to flat 2 down to 1 in A minor.
Something is tempting the Father. Where is your will, my friend?
This is insidious.
Satiates never even bother.
The masks add to the illusion, right? The mask with the spikes in it drives me crazy. Great vocals, by the way, from Corey. In between the lens and light, you're not what you seem. What are they doing? I'm not your devil anymore. Your station is abandoned. That's because I know what you've done. Sensation, deprivation, shiver when you turn on everyone. Wow. Not happy. Wow! Overwhelming sound. Too many times we've let it come to this. It's a cool riff, though. For as intense as this is, it's got a really cool hook in the chorus. Christ. Okay. I love how they have different levels of the intensity of that riff. What is this guy do? No. That's quite a statement, friends. The the video definitely gave me some images to work with to try to figure out what they're talking about here. Man, that was intense, y'all. So Corey has said about this song, The Devil and I is one of the 3 songs that really represent the war inside us individually. Dealing with the depression that came after losing Paul. So this is part of that. Dealing with the anger, the guilt, just trying to get our hands around the grief process, basically, and realizing that we have to let ourselves feel these feelings before we can move forward. And The Devil and I represents looking at that selfishness in the mirror and saying, okay, I have to let myself feel this before I can go any further. So the carnage in the video that's happening to the band members. One guy looked like he was like eating his flesh. One guy looked like he was being attacked by birds. One guy looked like he was being attacked by a dog. One guy like lit himself on fire and hung himself. One guy blew himself up. I don't think it's suicidal. I don't think that they're getting rid of themselves. I think that what they're trying to do is illustrate the visceral nature of the internal struggle to separate yourself from the grief and the difficult thoughts that you're feeling inside, and you're trying to get rid of it, not suppress it. What did he say here? Realizing that we have to let ourselves feel these feelings before we can move forward. That's important. Megan and I have both been helped by therapy, and one of the things that we have come across time and time again is not trying to spend a whole lot of energy suppressing the real feelings that we have because of the experiences that we've had in our life. It's to see them, validate them, and let them know that we see them, and then deal with it emotionally and move forward. And that can be quite an intense thing for a person to do. And 3 or 4 years processing the premature death of their friend and founding band member, they're trying to have these feelings with them and then actively better themselves to say, I'm going to get past it. I'm going to even if it means I've got to blow up that last version of what was going on in my head so I can move forward and separate myself from it and move on. Holy mackerel, y'all. Musically, it was really interesting. I like one of the things I like about Slipknot is the vocals don't lose me. Some of these metal bands, they go all in on the intense vocals, and it kind of loses me. It takes me out of the musical sound. This one didn't. I mean, the verses were softer, and you could hear the melody in the background, and then those the choruses with that fifth scale degree down to flat 5. It's the diminished fifth of the key, and it's a trope that I hear all the time in heavy metal music. It's stability versus instability, a perfect fifth versus a diminished fifth. And then as they're leading back to home base, it's an upper leading tone instead of a lower leading tone. Classical music, if this is an A, we'd be using G sharps to tonicize A. They're using B flats to tonicize A and using G naturals all over the place. That's modal, not tonal. And it has just as much validity. It leads with just as much polarity to the tonic note as the leading tone from below does, but it just does it in a different way, and it lends so much power and intensity to the sound. And every time I come back to these guys, they make me pay attention. That is for sure. And I think I know what they're talking about, and I applaud them for doing their best to work through the feelings that they would have from losing such a close friend and band member prematurely. And this is what we get: The Devil in I. And apparently it's been accepted and understood by many, many people. This has hundreds of millions of views, this video on YouTube. So I am late to the party, but now I think I get it, and I'm happy to have looked at Slipknot today. The Devil in I, a really intense song, but they're dealing with some inside stuff, and sometimes when the feelings inside are so intense, you got to have some intense music as a vehicle to let them out. So kudos to Slipknot, and we have been listening to The Devil in I. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you next time on another edition of the Daily Doug.